let down his entire world.
Well, my entire world needs you.
As we eagerly wait for Deadpool and Wolverine to hit the big screen, fans have observed countless Easter eggs, inside jokes, and a ton of cameos just by scouring the trailer so far. Marvel Jesus has worked his magic again. From the logo of the Fox universe half buried in the ground of the void, quite a few iconic characters from that era will appear in this movie. In this marvelous video, we're going to count down every exciting cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Will Lady Deathstrike be given a rematch with Logan? How did Cassandra Nova, the main villain of the movie, walk out of Ant-Man's skull? Let's find out. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Sabretooth. Die-hard fans have waited decades for another bloody Sabretooth vs. Wolverine face-off. Tyler Mane, who had played Sabretooth in the 2000 film X-Men, has returned to reprise his much-awaited role. He was last seen more than 2 decades ago, when he was sent on a mission by Magneto to hunt down Rogue. On this mission, the animalistic Victor Creed is confronted by Logan, and the two are locked in a fierce battle of claws and maws in the snow. Victor Creed never hesitated to give in to his violent instincts. He was abused by his father for being a mutant, but eventually, he killed off most of his family, except for his gentle mother and fled. In a lot of ways, Sabretooth is faster and even stronger than Wolverine. In the latest trailer, Sabretooth patiently waited to tear Logan down, but not before Deadpool prepped the X-Man for battle by giving him tips on how to fight one of his oldest enemies. Remember that the last time we saw Wolverine was in the 2017 film, Logan. His reappearance in Deadpool and Wolverine only makes it evident that his archenemy is bound to be present as well. Elektra, one of the most dangerous assassins to exist in Marvel history. When Elektra Natchios is out hunting, not even the stars are safe in the sky. In her cinematic journey, Elektra's character was given a standalone film in 2005, following Ben Affleck's Daredevil, played by Jennifer Garner. The lethal fighter displayed some truly impressive side knife handling. In the newest trailer, keen-eyed fans noticed an arm that looked an awful lot like it belonged to Elektra. Her 2005 spin-off began with Elektra being wounded by Bullseye. This was followed by her training period with a group of ninjas known as the Chaste. Armed with her iconic size, she skillfully fought against the tyranny of the hand. In the comics, Elektra is known best for her electrifying romance with Daredevil and being part of Red Hawk's Thunderbolts team alongside Deadpool. She is truly a force to be reckoned with, for she possesses the deadly powers of mind-switching, hypnosis, telepathy, and telekinesis, along with her mastery over the martial arts. Lady Deadpool. Amidst the multiversal madness that is the MCU presently, many spotted Deadpool, but with heeled boots in the latest trailer. Lady Deadpool, along with Deadpools of other realities, will likely make an appearance in this film. Blake Lively is rumored to play Lady Deadpool. It makes perfect sense that Ryan Reynolds' wife would play this character. Another possible hint caught by fans was when Wolverine acknowledged Deadpool as a lady when he first approached him. Many believe that the Deadpool of the reality Logan was in might be Lady Deadpool, also known as Wanda Wilson, who was originally from Earth 3010. She craved a sense of community and thought it would be wise to join with a rebel group who fought against the Loyalists of the United States. She also fought her reality's version of Captain America, a patriot known as General America. She eventually became a part of the Deadpool Corps and helped them take down their evil counterpart. It was an all-you-can-kill Deadpool fest. She possesses the same powers as Wade in terms of her regenerative healing factor and telepathic immunity.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Well, hashtag it.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. This one is a no-brainer as Deadpool. Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead already created their signature trio in the first Deadpool film, also known as Eloise Phimister. Negasonic would help out Dweebpool the second he asked for it. In the comics, she is known to be a regular snarky teenager on Genosha, and she is also Emma Frost's student, in the middle of class with the telepath. Eloise revealed that her mutant powers plagued her, with recurring nightmares about the Genoshan people being massacred, a fear that very tragically came true shortly afterward. In the MCU, we see Negasonic being introduced to Deadpool by Colossus in his attempt to make the Merc with a mouth join X-Men. She helped Deadpool to save Vanessa and take down Ajax. As a character, Negasonic isn't afraid to speak her mind, saying it like it is. Still, she seems to respect her mentor, Colossus, and even risks her own life to save him. Her coolest power is nuclear detonation from the energy that is generated in her body. That ties in with her ability to create energy field bombs as well, hence her mutant alias.
Worst one.
Pyro. In the movies, Pyro made a minor appearance in the first X-Men film, which showed him trying to impress Rogue in vain. Instead, he made a fool of himself in front of the entire class. We last saw this hot-headed mutant in the 2006 film, X-Men: The Last Stand, which depicted him growing tired of learning how to hone his powers under Professor Xavier. He decided to leave his academy and join up with the Brotherhood of Mutants. By the end of this film, Pyro challenges his polar opposite, Iceman, aka Bobby Drake. The two fought viciously in a flurry of flames and blizzards until Pyro had his hands frozen and was knocked out. Now, nearly 18 years later, Aaron Stanford has returned to reprise his role as the fiery mutant. Maybe this time, he'll manage to burn Wolverine for foiling his schemes in the past. Pyro, the pyrokinetic, can manipulate fire but not generate it. For this reason, Magneto called him a god among insects. As the wielder of the living flame, Pyro can shape flames into anything he desires, the only limit being his imagination. Lady Deathstrike. The last we saw this femme fatale was at the end of the X2, when she sank to the bottom of the Weapon X tank after being filled with adamantium till it leaked out of her eyes. Yikes. But even after this gruesome death, it is believed that the events of X-Men Days of Future Past rewrote her timeline, which saved her from being captured in the first place. In the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, we see Deathstrike, played by Kelly Hu, standing by the skull of Ant-Man with her unmistakable long talons. Lady Deathstrike, also known as Yuriko Oyama, was the daughter of Lord Darkwind, the mad scientist who invented the process of coating one's skeleton in adamantium. Yuriko grew obsessed with Wolverine, as he was unfairly graced with the adamantium enhancements, which disgraced the honor of the Oyamas. In X2, Deathstrike is captured by William Stryker, who uses the mind control serum on her. In this state, she mindlessly fought Wolverine, both backed up by their adamantium-fueled madness. Similar to Wolverine's knuckleblade, Lady Deathstrike's signature weapons were her long adamantium claws, which grew from her fingertips. She was also armed with her cybernetic healing factor and cyberpathy.
Comrade.
Azazel, the Prince of Hell, the disgraced demon banished to the Brimstone dimension in Nightcrawler's father. Azazel is part of one of the oldest known groups of demons named the Neophim. In the 2011 film, X-Men: First Class, Azazel was part of Sebastian Shaw's Hellfire Club. In First Class, he takes down the mysterious Man in Black and his goons by showing off his impressive demonic skills. He teleported each person high into the sky and let them fall to their deaths. Azazel also hijacked a Soviet freighter during the Cuban Missile Crisis, nearly causing an all-out nuclear war. Azazel practically stole every scene he was in. He was played by Jason Fleming, who returned to play the role of the devilish imp yet again. Comic fans already know that Nightcrawler's parents are Mystique and Azazel. Do you think we'll have a bittersweet family reunion in Deadpool and Wolverine? Azazel is said to be a more powerful teleporter than his son, Nightcrawler. In addition to this, Azazel can manipulate space-time itself, being able to turn his opponent's reality upside down. He looks cool too, with his crimson demonic skin and lethal, prehensile tail. Toad. In the most recent footage of the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, we've seen a lot of members of the Brotherhood of Mutants, including Toad. The remarkably talented Ray Park, who also played Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace, has revisited his amphibious character. We last saw Ray play the bulgy-eyed mutant in the first X-Men, in which he accompanied Mystique in doing Magneto's dirty work. During the Statue of Liberty fight scene near the end of the film, Toad is the star of the show, as he takes on Storm, Cyclops, and Jean Grey all at once, using his prehensile tongue as a serious weapon. But his tongue was struck by a lightning bolt cast by Storm, which sent him to tumble into the Hudson River. As far as his origins go, Toad was once known as Mortimer Toynbee, who was thrown out by his parents because of his deformed, warty appearance. He was plagued with constant loneliness until Magneto found him. Toad's abilities perfectly match his name and appearance. His healing factor allows him to regenerate severed limbs. He possesses infrared vision and can secrete a venomous pheromone, which will enable him to control the minds of others. Callisto was last seen in the 2006 film X-Men: The Last Stand, by the end of which she was relentlessly electrocuted by lightning summoned by Storm. In this film, she is the leader of the Omegas, a group of outcast mutants who eventually decide to side with Magneto's mission. In the movie, she was given cool new abilities of X-Factor detection, which allowed her to sense any mutants nearby, and superhuman speed, which she allowed to wow the master of magnetism. When Callisto first went against Storm, the Weather Witch was barely able to hold her own against her attacks, given the fact that Storm is an Omega-level mutant. This is an impressive feat for any mutant who manages to fight her. In the comics, Callisto was described as flawlessly beautiful till the day she was disfigured and thrown out of society's good graces for being a mutant. This prompted her to organize a whole community of outcasts, like her, named the Morlocks. They lived in underground tunnels beneath New York City.
And I have no idea how to save it.
You got the wrong guy.
Alioth, a creature created from all the tears in reality, capable of consuming space and time itself. Alioth was the terrifying storm of smoke seen in the background of the trailer as the dynamic duo jumped into an interdimensional portal created during the Multiversal War. Alioth, also known as the Guardian of the Void, was the first primordial being that freed itself from the constraints of time. Victor Timely, also codenamed He Who Remains, began experimenting on this creature's powers. In the 2021 TV show, Loki, Timely created the TVA at the Citadel at the end of time, while all of Loki's variants managed to evade this for years. The trailer of the upcoming film shows us Deadpool and Wolverine in conflict with the TVA. It seems like Wade has been made their newest hunter, but refuses to remain loyal to them for very long. Deadpool and Wolverine are also seen battling in the void, which indicates that Alioth is bound to be present. As a living tempest, Alioth is capable of consuming every bit of energy and matter from an entire universe and any timeline in it. We're sure nothing more terrifying exists.
Get your mind out of my pants! Huh, Paul Rudd finally aged.
Ant-Man, Skull. The only cameo Giant Man is making in this movie is with his enormous skull, which Cassandra Nova is conveniently using as her headquarters. Fans are speculating that this is the result of the probability storm that Ant-Man found himself in Quantumania. When he encountered all possible versions of himself who existed at the same time, he was visibly ripped apart amidst this chaos. But did it really kill him? The frame of Giant Man's skull in the trailer is where most of the Easter eggs and cameos are conveniently hidden, so it definitely holds some importance in the larger series of events. At the same time, others have speculated that this visual is mined from the comic storyline, Old Man Logan of 2009. In this, Hank Pym, aka Giant Man, was murdered by the Red Skull, and his body remained as a landmark for a town that was known as Pym Falls. Located in Connecticut, Pym Falls was a whole settlement built around his skeleton. Yukio is a teenage mutant ninja who underwent a revised timeline. In the original, she was featured in the 2013 film, The Wolverine, as a nomadic mutant whose main power was her precognitive ability to sense someone else's death. As a youth, she was taken in by Ichiro Yoshida. Being the one who had wandering Logan to him, Yukio stood by to protect the mutant when he lost his powers and even predicted his momentary death in the film. Near the end, Yukio held Viper off as Logan battled the Silver Samurai. In the revised timeline, Yukio was present in Deadpool 2 as Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend. She accompanied Colossus to the mutant rehabilitation house to help the X-Force stop Fire First from committing his first murder and take down the Juggernaut before it was too late. In this version, Yukio possessed the ability to control and manipulate electricity. That being said, Yukio is a popular choice for a reappearance in the upcoming film, as both her multiversal counterparts have a close connection to Deadpool and Wolverine. In the comics, Yukio is believed to be working alongside the card-throwing mutant Gambit. The actress, Shiori Katsuna, who played the character in Deadpool 2, will feature in this film as well, but you never know. We might end up seeing both versions of Yukio. The Russian. In the trailer, we can spot a character by Ant-Man's skull wearing his classic red and white striped t-shirt. This character, named the Russian, was last seen played by Kevin Nash in the 2004 film, The Punisher. In this film, the son of a mafia boss ordered multiple assassinations in an attempt to kill Frank Castle. One of these assassins was the behemoth of a man named the Russian, who nearly beat Frank to death in his own house, but failed. Nothing is known of his origin, other than the fact that he hails from Russia, a man with loose morals. The Russian worked as a killer for hire all over the globe, but hit a new low in Belfast. Here, He ate human flesh for the sake of a silly bet. He was employed by a crime boss to take out Frank Castle in the comics as well. During their many entanglements, Frank realized that the villain's weakness was hot thing, so he used a freshly baked pizza to blind him. The Russian's physiology was entirely reconstructed by General Krikov, using a mixture of metal alloy and plastics.
My name's Rusty, but I go by Shatterstar. That's good.
Shatterstar. His name's Rusty, but he goes by Shatterstar, and he's not even from this earth. Played by Louis Tan, Shatterstar made his first cinematic debut in Deadpool 2 as the arrogant alien who claimed to be better than the Merc with a mouth. As a member of the X-Force, Shatterstar was debriefed on Russell's rescue plane and accompanied the team on their cargo plane. His drop-down ended as horrifically as one could imagine. Shatterstar ended up tangling in the blades of the helicopter and showering everyone around him in green alien blood. As part of the X-Force and Deadpool's gang, Shatterstar is bound to return to the latest film as well. In the comics, Shatterstar is known to be the offspring of Longshot and Dazzler. Yes, the same Dazzler who is rumored to be played by Taylor Swift in the film. Due to a confusing temporal paradox, Shatterstar is also credited for creating Longshot. Shatterstar was raised in the harsh arenas of Mojo World, fighting for the sick entertainment of the alien Megalomaniac. Along with his superhuman mutant attributes, Shatterstar can also generate vibratory shockwave through his blades. He calls this his wheel of creation.
I want to become a contract killer.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Remember when I kidnapped Bandhu?
Dopehinder. Played by Karan Soni, Dopehinder began as a well-natured taxi driver, Deadpool's personal driver to one of his closest buddies, even attending his birthday party. If his voice sounds familiar, Karan Soni also voiced Pavitra Prabhaka in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. In the first Deadpool, the Merc with a mouth first got into Dopehinder's taxi and made small talk. The taxi driver revealed that he was deeply in love with a lovely woman named Geeta, but his cousin, Bandu, had won over her heart. This was unacceptable. Dopehinder claimed Bandu was as dishonorable as he was attractive. Deadpool's suggestion was to chop up Bandu and stuff his remains in a bag, but also to hold on to love tightly and never let go. Deadpool gave him a crisp high five as payment for the taxi ride. As he drove the Merc with a mouth, Metal Man, and a teenage warhead to their fight with Ajax, Dopehinder revealed that Bandu was tied up in his trunk. In Deadpool 2, Dopehinder requested to join the X-Force, but was sadly denied. Dopehinder is bound to be the newest film, providing his taxi services in times of need.
And last but not least, Peter. Am I getting catfished here? Or?
Peter, portrayed by Rob Delaney. Peter is a regular human who has both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. In Deadpool 2, he answered the ad to join the X-Force when Deadpool needed to recruit mutants for the Russell Collins rescue mission. According to Peter, he's just an honest guy looking for work in a contracting economy. Although Peter doesn't possess any human powers, he is still a member of the superhuman team. During the disastrous drop of the mission, Deadpool and Domino nearly died. Shatterstar was shredded to pieces, but Peter was the only one who managed to land properly. He tried to help Zeitgeist, who fired his acidic bile on the poor human, disintegrating his entire arm, which killed him, obviously. But at the end of the movie, Deadpool uses Cable's time-traveling device to go back in the past and warn Peter moments before his death.
Baby, are you sure you want to shoot your whole lot?
Vanessa Carlyle. Speaking of Deadpool's loved one, how can we forget Vanessa Carlyle, portrayed by the beautiful Morena Baccarin in the film? Vanessa was dealt a tough hand in life and had to survive through sex work in New York City. She eventually met Wade Wilson in a bar, and it turned out the man was genuinely interested in getting to know her on a romantic and emotional basis. Shortly before Wade was diagnosed with cancer and put through excruciating pain as part of the Weapon X program, he had proposed to Vanessa. She believed he was dead until Ajax and Angel Dust captured her. In the end, Wade still tried to hide his disfigured face by stapling a picture of Hugh Jackman on it, but she only wanted to kiss the man she loved. After Deadpool killed the drug lord Sergei Volishnikov, his men sought revenge and shot Vanessa. Her death tore Wade apart to the point where he tried to kill himself. Ultimately, he managed to use Cable's time travel device once again to resurrect his beloved. Vanessa is essential to the story as a strong-headed, loving woman who guides Wade back on the right path every single time. Rob Mecklehead. Lastly, we have Deadpool's, Ryan Reynolds' business partner and close friend, Rob Mecklehead. The two own an English football club named Wrexham FC, which is based in Wales. Reynolds claimed that due to his busy schedule while filming Deadpool, Rob had to travel to London to discuss everything related to their football club. For this, He was also given a little cameo in the upcoming film. Rob is most popularly known for playing the role of Mac in the American sitcom It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It is speculated that Rob will play the role of a TVA agent in Deadpool and Wolverine.
The entire world needs you. Shake on it. Ah! Nicked it. Just
Marvelous work. So there you have it, folk. All the possible cameos in the much-awaited film Deadpool and Wolverine. Which among these are you excited for the most? More characters like Kidpool, Charles Xavier, and Blade might appear, and even a potential Loki cameo is very likely. One thing's for sure, this movie is going to feel nostalgic in its essence, especially for those who have a soft spot for the Fox X-Men movies of the 2000s. Deadpool and Wolverine will be in theaters on July 26th, and if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.